Oh God, it's cold outside, Jack Donner thought to himself as he walked through the freezing parking lot. He was approaching a gray and white building. It was a complex that he lived in. He lived in the crappiest little apartment in town, but it's all he could get. Jack was broke. He despised his apartment, the managers, and the neighborhood. He would have left everything if he could, but he couldn't afford to go anywhere else. Hell, he could barely afford this god-awful place. He hobbled back to the rat cove that he called home. He was still tipsy from the one too many shots. He walked grudgingly through the inky dark night and slowly began to approach the metal-structured stairwell. Jack stepped over the gray curb and walked onto the sidewalk. He moved under the overpass of floor 2. The horrible lights on the roof flickered softly as large bugs swarmed its phosphorescent glow. As Jack passed the vending machine, he stopped to check for any change. He could use even spare pocket change. The man bent slightly and felt around the coin return for a coin. Nothing. He stepped forward slightly to the next machine there. It was a withered old soda machine. He bent down again and placed his fingers in the small metal slot. He once again felt nothing. Jack began to rise slowly, but a small shimmer of light caught his attention. In the bottle dispenser of the machine laid a glass bottle. Jack reached down to retrieve it. Strangely, it bore no labels. Also, it was not plastic like usual. It was undoubtedly glass. Most disturbing, however, was the thick black liquid inside. It sat in a small bin, shimmering slightly in the yellow lighting. Jack picked up the bizarre bottle. He was too curious to resist it. It was not any listed soda on the machine, and no alcohol was ever pitch black like this. The liquid was held in with a small old cork. The bottle seemed old, predating the 1900s by the looks of it. Jack slipped the particular item into one of his large pant pockets. He clambered up the stairs and walked to his room. He quietly entered. He set the bottle on his table, sat down in front of it, and he just stared at it. He was trying to make sense of it. Maybe it was a new type of drug, and someone was trying to get it to another person by hiding it in the vending machine. Probably not. Jack needed to know what was in it. He couldn't break his gaze from it. It sat there on the table perfectly still, glowing with the light from the light bulb that hung overhead. Jack suddenly felt dizzy. It was as if he had stood up too fast, but he hadn't moved an inch. As his senses almost faded, he felt himself involuntarily reach for the bottle. He was no longer in control of what he was doing. He uncorked the bottle and put the glass rim to his lip. He lifted the bottle and felt a thick, vile sludge pour onto his tongue. It stung as if it was boiling water. He felt his throat tighten as the liquid poured down. He was choking. He had drunk a large portion. Then he felt his senses rush back to him, and the bottle slipped from his hand and fell to the floor. He gasped, trying to regain oxygen. Jack suddenly began to notice a drastic change in his vision. The world around him was drained of color. After moments, only black and white remained. Next, he felt a burning sensation all over his body. It felt as if he was standing in an inferno. He looked down to see blood gushing and dripping from sizzling wounds in his skin. Jack's skin was being burnt off. He raised his arm and saw his bone beneath the blood and charred lump of flesh. Jack gasped in some air and screamed. He screamed hoping someone would hear him, hoping someone could save him. He felt his face begin to disintegrate. He placed his hand, which was now only bones, up to his face. He needed to end the pain. It needed to stop. Jack swung open the door. He stumbled out onto the outdoor hallway of the complex and headfirst jumped over the rails to the pavement below.